Dear beautiful viewers, before we begin, prepare yourself for a thrilling tale of envy, greed, and betrayal that will keep you on the edge of your seat. This story delves deep into the mysteries of human nature and the dangers of unchecked ambition. If you love tales like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more captivating stories. Now, settle in and let's unravel the shocking stories of the market square. Market Square of Iluaze was the heart of the village. Every morning, vendors scrambled to set up their stalls, their voices filling the air with calls to customers. Among them was Olabisi, a strikingly beautiful woman with a radiant smile and a plump, inviting figure. Her food stall had become the talk of the town. No one could resist her spicy jollof rice, her mouth-watering pepper soup, or her tender, flavorful meat skewers. Customers flocked to her stall, their laughter and satisfaction echoing across the square. Other food vendors, like Mama Tinu, Alaba, and Ranti, were not so lucky. Their stalls were often empty, their pots barely touched. She must be using something, I yelled in the direction of her queue in droves. No one's food is that good. She's too perfect, Ranti added, her eyes narrowing. It's unnatural. Air jealousy brewed into resentment. They began spreading whispers. Have you noticed how pale some of her regular customers look? Mama Tinu whispered to Alaba one morning. And what about that man who stopped coming to the market altogether? Something's not right. Alabasi's rise to fame hadn't been by chance. Years ago she had been a struggling cook, barely making ends meet. One fateful night, while wandering in despair near the edge of the forest, she stumbled upon an old, crumbling shrine. Desperate for success, she knelt before the shrine and begged the spirits for help. A voice emerged from the shadows, low and menacing. You seek greatness, Olabisi. I can give it to you. But there is a price. I'll do anything, she had replied, her voice trembling. His spirit revealed its terms. Her food would be unmatched, but in return she had to feed it human lives. Olabisi hesitated, but eventually agreed, believing she could control the cost. At first, she lured strangers who wouldn't be missed. She chopped their flesh into her stews, knowing that whoever ate her food would have their spirit bound to the shrine. Over time, her greed grew. The long lines at her stall and the adoration of the villagers blinded her to the darkness of her actions. Meanwhile, the other vendors became increasingly suspicious. Alaba, known for her cunning, decided to take matters into her own hands. One evening, she followed Olabisi as she left the market. She trailed her through the forest, careful to stay hidden. What she saw left her trembling. Olabisi was kneeling before the shrine, chanting in a strange language. Beside her was a basket, and Alaba caught a glimpse of what looked like a severed hand. The next day, Alaba shared her discovery with Mama Tinu and Ranti. We have to expose her, Ranti said, her voice shaking. She's not just stealing our customers, she's stealing lives. They knew they couldn't confront Olabisi directly. She was too lovely by the villagers. Instead, they decided to gather proof. Unbeknownst to them, a newcomer named Kola had also grown curious about Olabisi. He had noticed the strange changes in some of her customers, how they seemed drained of energy, their faces pale and lifeless. Kola approached Baba Ireti, the village elder, and voiced his concerns. I fear something is wrong with Olabisi's food, he said. Baba Ireti sighed deeply. I have lived long enough to know when something isn't natural, but no one dares to question her success. Kola decided to investigate. That night he followed Olabisi just as Alaba had, but this time he brought along a group of trusted friends, including Shade, a brave young woman who had also grown suspicious. They hid in the shadows and watched as Olabisi performed her ritual at the shrine. Kola's heart pounded as he saw the ghostly figures emerge, the spirits of her victims, trapped and bound. The next day, Kola and his group confronted Olabisi in the market square. Mama Tinu, Alaba, and Ranti joined them, eager to see her downfall. Olabisi, Kola called out, his voice loud and firm. We know your secret. Market fell silent. Customers turned to look, their faces filled with confusion and fear. What are you talking about? Olabisi asked, her voice steady but her eyes betraying her panic. Kola stepped forward, holding up a piece of cloth he had found near the shrine, a piece that matched Olabisi's dress. We followed you to the forest. We saw what you've been doing. You've been feeding us human flesh. Gasps erupted from the crowd. That's a lie! Olabisi shouted, but her voice faltered. Baba Irati stepped forward, his face grim. Olabisi, is this true? Have you betrayed your own people? Under the weight of their stares, Olabisi broke down. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she sobbed. I was desperate. The spirit promised me everything, and I couldn't resist. The villagers dragged Olabisi to the shrine, demanding she undo her evil work. Trembling, she performed the ritual to release the trapped spirits. As the ghosts were freed, their faces filled with sorrow and rage. You stole our lives, one spirit said. Now you will know our pain. The spirits cursed Olabisi, binding her to the shrine for eternity. Her beauty faded, replaced by a ghastly form that reflected her wickedness. The villagers destroyed the shrine, vowing never to let greed and envy poison their hearts again. The other food vendors returned to their stalls, their businesses thriving once more under the renewed spirit of community. Kola became a hero in the village, and his bravery inspired others to stand up for what was right. Dear viewers, Olabisi's story reminds us that greed and betrayal can only lead to ruin. No success is worth the cost of your soul. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to drop a comment, tell me where you are watching from, and the lesson you learned from this tale. Like, share, and subscribe for more unforgettable stories. See you in the next video.